Pro Aquatics is known for captive bred fish because that's all they do. Every single fish they produce has been bred and raised in captivity. And I'm here with Seth. You've got a new fish hound that's got a little bit of a twist to it.
Yeah, we're lucky to be able to introduce these captive bred golden trevally. Not your typical hobbyist fish. We hope it to be popular with our with our public aquariums. But there'll be some hobbyists with big tanks that'll take them.
I was going to say, what makes them not a typical hobbyist fish?
They are beautiful as juvies. They are bright yellow. They've got these nice little zebra stripes. They look phenomenal, but they will grow pretty large.
Foot and a half.
Yeah, foot and a half, probably 20 pounds or so.
20?
I'd say even larger. We were at the downtown aquarium in Denver. I'd say that there were some 2 feet long.
So big game, big fish.
Yeah, they're big fish. They're a jack as well, just like a lookdown. So they're in the Carangidae family.
So this is going to be big tanks, and they're going to eat anything that's smaller than that.
Yeah, anything that'll fit in their mouth, they'll eat. They'll grow like crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a niche market for you guys. Clownfish seems like everyone's got a clownfish. You guys got a new clownfish out as well.
Right. We do have a new clownfish out. It's you may remember a couple years ago us coming out with the tangerine albino, the first albino clownfish to reach the States.
Right.
That we've had time, we've paired this up with a few more fish, and now we have a tangerine albino snowflake. Okay. It's got the snowflake pattern on the albino clownfish.
So more white in terms of bars, different barring.
Exactly.
More extreme.
Exactly.
And it's all 100% captive bred. Nothing came out of the ocean.
Exactly.
That's what I like to see, man. Keep up the good work. Maybe one day I'll get the uber big tank and get some of these game fish in there.
Yeah, no, everyone needs a 300-gallon circular tank.
At least. If not bigger. How about 2,000?
Yeah, exactly.
Big fish, little fish. Now how about a company that had so much to show, they forgot about some of it?
When it comes to tank controllers, one of the most popular things to control is dosing pumps. And I'm here with Terrence from Neptune Systems. This looks like a Neptune system dosing pump.
Yep, it's called the Dose. Whenever we approach anything, we're looking at the ease of use, the quality, everything. So it takes us a while sometimes to find just exactly what we want to do. And we have it now in the Dose. Really key thing about this product are the pumps. Okay, it's driven by what's called a stepper motor. Most pumps are driven by what is called a brushed motor. This is the same kind of motor you'd find in your kid's toy car. We didn't want to do something like this. There's a couple of reasons. First of all, they wear out very quickly. Okay? They go out of calibration very fast because you can't say I want exactly this much, and you get slippage and all sorts of other things happening. And the overall quality just wasn't going to be there.
Okay.
To give you an idea of the comparison, this
Holy cow.
is the Dose pump.
Much bigger.
Yes. This pump is a stepper motor. It can, from 1 drop to 1 gallon, it's going to be exact.
1 drop.
Yes. To 1 gallon, it's going to be exact.
Okay.
It's going to give you exactly what you want.
Now I've been noticing this has been running the whole time we're talking. This is suitable for continuous operation?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing that's really, really cool about using a stepper motor like this, is they're made for about 10 times the lifespan of a brushed motor. So 5,000 hours is what it's rated for. And on top of that, stepper motors can be speed controlled. So now if we happen to be dosing, say, I don't know, 30 milliliters of calcium a day, we can run it just really slow.
Okay.
But if we want to do a water change, say 20, 30 gallons a week in a continuous water change, we can do that because we can run it up to 250 milliliters per minute.
Wow. So you can vary the speed that it doses.
Yes.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, Apex Fusion, as you know, except there's some new goodies in there. Right here, this is what's happening on the Dose right now, okay? So you can see over the course of time what you've been dosing in to your tank or how much water is going in and out of your tank, right from here on the dashboard.
So how easy is this to configure?
Basically, all you do is go into the system, you click on the gear, you tell it how much you want to change over so much time in the case of a water change.
Okay.
In the case of dosing, the same thing. How much do I want to put in the tank over this much time? And it will calculate what speed the pump needs to be, when it's going to come on and off, you can tell it. It figures it all out for you, so there's not a lot of complex configuration, how much time, you know, everybody's trying to figure time.
Yeah, do the math.
No, it's all about milliliters, so you don't have to do any of the weird how much time thing either.
And I'm noticing this kind of looks like dosing vessels. Is there some kind of trick there?
Yeah, you can't have a dosing pump without it to pump from something, okay?
True.
And I'm not going to have our dosing pump like with milk jugs next to it, right?
I've been there,
come on.
Yeah.
So we created what's called the Dose Dual Reservoir, okay? And it's two 2-liter vessels that you can connect up to your Dose system. But what's really cool is it has optical sensors for the level in there, and it connects directly up to your dose, and it tells you when you're getting almost to the end of whatever fluids you have in that system.
And like with any Apex thing, if it gets low, it'll send you an email or a text message.
Exactly, and it won't run the pump if it's empty, those kinds of things.
Good point. Okay, so we've talked a lot about dosing pumps. I'm seeing an aquarium pump right here over my shoulder. Let's go over here and show me that.
Absolutely.
One pump.
This is the new pump, it's called the Wave.
I was noticing the footprint, it's pretty tight.
It's very tight, and the flow is comparable to all the mid-grade pumps that are out there. 3,500 to 4,000 gallons per hour.
Out of this little guy.
Out of that little guy.
Wow.
And on top of that, what's really cool is that's an articulating mount. So you get about 15 to 20 degrees each way to move the pump.
Now, how thick of glass will that magnet stick to?
Up to 3/4 of an inch glass. We wanted to have something that would be our own kind of format, our own way to interact. Obviously, there's Aquabus that we have already, but that's not made for powering anything.
Okay.
We wanted to have a connection that would be both the power and the connectivity to the Apex for two-way communication. And so we created a new standard for the Apex. It's called OneLink. And OneLink has that one cable, and it connects to your Apex via a module we call the OneLink module.
Okay.
Has 3 positions on it, so you can put 3 pumps on there, and then 1 power supply. But what's really cool is that there's now a feedback mechanism from the pump. So you can tell what's going on in this pump in your Apex dashboard. So you can tell what the speed is, what mode it's in, obviously the temperature inside the pump.
Temperature inside the pump?
Inside the pump. Yeah, and you can know when it's dirty, you can know when a snail gets into it, it'll automatically stop itself. All of these things are built into there because it's got this whole feedback mechanism.
Terrence was obviously giddy about the flow pump, and he was even more giddy about how it works with the Apex dashboard.
Well, what's really cool is right on the dashboard, you'll see at the very top there is a tile for the Wave itself, okay? So each pump would have one of these little tiles. And right next to it, you see a graph, and next to that, you see some other numbers. Well, the numbers on the right will start there. First of all, you know the mode that it's in. So it's in a random mode now. What the speed is in RPMs, okay? What the temperature is inside the pump. And then, is the pump running normally right now? Or is it dirty, or is it stuck, or what have you, right? Okay. Now, when you look to the left, you see a graph. Now, interesting thing is that we all can share what our ORP is or our pH is. We can even take a par meter, and I can say I'm running my Radions at 320 par and you're running yours at 250. Or a month later, I can look back and say I ran mine at this. I have some sort of relative comparison that I can make, but we don't have that for the flow of our power heads in our tank.
Until now.
Until now. So now if I go to you and say, man, your corals look great. I know you're running the Wave pumps, okay? What flow are you running? And you go, well, last week I ran 180 on flow at my, oh, really?
Now you know that too, and you can apply it.
Exactly.
Terrence, looks like you guys have done a really good job on the Wave pumps. Excited to put it to test and put it in action.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this, dude. I completely forgot to show you one of the other things on Apex Fusion that's coming out here at the event.
Yeah, what's this?
We've been asked by a lot of people to have something where we can actually log their own parameters into Apex Fusion. So for instance, your alkalinity, you click on KH and you're right in here and you can come in and put your alkalinity in. But what's really cool is how often do you lose those little sheets in your test kits?
Yeah.
All the time, right?
Yeah.
So if you happen to lose it, you click on Saltwater, you plug into there exactly what you had. So let's say we put in like 2.9 left in the syringe, and you click OK. That's it. You've now just added it in. Isn't that awesome?
That's great.
But even better than that, what's really cool is now those things are actually available to you in the graphs. So you can look at the graphs and see, let's say salinity, right?
Yeah.
And I want to see my salinity, and I want to see next to my alkalinity. So now I can see my alkalinity I just logged right there.
Right. So you can see what effect it might have had on your tank.
Right there's the alkalinity, salt, all of it right there.
Any other hidden things you haven't found?
I'm sorry, I completely forgot. We got so much cool stuff going on, I just missed one.